could very well be the one who wins the whole thing.
Right.
And of course, we're gonna run down the entrants that have been confirmed so far.
Yeah.
Brock is gonna start out at number 1. See, at first I was kind of confused by this, but then once I put it into perspective and thought about it more, it's like, yeah, you have the world champion in the Rumble, but if he goes in there, he looks super dominant, and then you have another guy, who like comes in and like he eliminates him. I feel like that could be a big way of putting over a guy like as he eliminated Brock, and if he went on to say to win the thing, that could be huge for like building that star. Given that that's what they end up doing, but I'd have to think the guy who eliminates him is the guy who wins the whole thing. That's just how I view it. But of course, getting into the participants, of course, we said Brock Lesnar, the WWE champ, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis and Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Really? Rollins hasn't?
Yeah, they haven't. I guess Rollins hasn't been added to it yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they haven't added Rollins yet. I'm actually surprised, but he'll probably be added in. He's last year's winner. He's got to be in it.
Yeah, I think they. I honestly don't even realize I honestly don't even know if they like realize like if they haven't announced certain people to be in it yet. So like I wonder if they actually are even aware of that. Because they probably think that to the obvious fan, like that they know who's gonna kind of be in it. But of course, there's some rumors. Of course, that certain people may or may not be in this. Some of them, I try not to believe any of it because I don't want to get my hopes up or get excited. See, that's why it's difficult for me really to pick who's gonna win this. Because depending upon who like some of these people are, I mean, like that could really change everything. Like there is, of course, the big rumor that Edge is gonna make an appearance in it or whatever, and if so. Now, for example, that one, if he appears in it, he's just going to be in it. He's not going to win it, obviously, but
still, just knowing that.
Knowing that he'd make that appearance and make that that entrance and like that'd still be like incredible.
I still remember that night when he speared Elias.
Yeah, no, see, like I popped for that like crazy because I remember we were talking about that when we did that review, and yeah, that was just awesome to me. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was at Elias's suspense, because that guy gets a bad. That guy never gets what's the word for it? He never gets his fair shake.
But he too. Side note that he's actually much more entertaining as a face actually than he ever was as a heel.
That one I don't agree with as much, but yeah. And of course the big one of them all is of course being CM Punk, but.
Don't get your hopes up on that one.
No, yeah, we're not going to talk about that one as much because. If it ever happened, great, but I'm just not going to expect it. So, it's just, it is what it is. But, of course, that's the other big one. But that's the thing now. If he somehow was in it, which I'm not going to say he is, if he somehow was, now that guy I could see winning it. Like, I could see him being the one that eliminates Brock. I could, if this...
The Battle of the Heyman guys?
Yeah. No, well... this is what I'm thinking. Like, this would be amazing. See, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but see, like, this would be amazing. Imagine, say, Brock was like the only one like in the ring at the time, and say that clock goes off, and then like you hear that music, and he just has like shocked look on his face. Like that would be so amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Maybe him at like 30.
Yeah. See, yeah. So then there's that too. That's the other thing. I could see Brock making it down to the end. Some have entertained the idea of him going the whole way and then just winning it.
But then, like, that would be a waste of a Rumble.
Yeah, some people entertain the idea of like, what if he won on and won it, and then like there'd be, and then like maybe like he.
It'd be him versus the Fiend then.
Yeah, I mean that sounds cool.
It does, but like then we all know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
after that,
I think Bray Wyatt would. I think Bray could win that one, but. That would be amazing. God, imagine if he stood tall over freaking Bray Wyatt, he stood tall over Brock Lesnar at Mania. Like that'd be incredible. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too far fetched with that one. Oh, I could see him making it down to the final two, then he finally gets eliminated.
Yeah,
that's probably the more likelier scenario. But yeah, so that's the Royal Rumble 2020 little preview. Of course, that's gonna be this upcoming Sunday.
Yes.
So, of course, it's favorite gimmick match of the year. You know, I still get excited for it.
I still
no
do.
matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
But going from that, we're gonna go into something a bit more serious. Of course, unfortunately, sad news took place this past week. WWE Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson passed away at the age of 75 on Wednesday. Of course, Rocky Johnson, the father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and WWE would release a statement via WWE.com, which I'm going to read right now. WWE is saddened to learn that Rocky Soulman Johnson, WWE Hall of Famer, former World Tag Team Champion, and father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has passed away at 75. Johnson's sports entertainment career began in the mid-1960s when he made a memorable impression in the National Wrestling Alliance. However, Johnson found his highest levels of success when he began his WWE tenure in 1983. The physically imposing and wildly charismatic Johnson had several memorable rivalries with the likes of Greg the Hammer Valentine, Don Morocco, and Adrian Adonis. He found his greatest success when he teamed up with Tony Atlas as the Soul Patrol. The two men became the first African-American World Tag Team Champions in WWE history when they defeated the Wild Samoans on December 10th of 1983. The Soul Man retired from the ring in 1991, but his imprint continued to be felt on WWE for years to come. Post-retirement, Johnson had a hand in training his son, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The Rock would become one of the biggest stars in the history of sports entertainment and carried on his father's legacy with pride. In 2008, Johnson achieved the highest honor in sports entertainment when he was inducted by The Rock into the WWE Hall of Fame, where he will forever enshrined as one of sports entertainment's most influential performers. WWE extends its condolences to Johnson's family, friends, and fans. Then The Rock himself would also make a very emotional Instagram post in regards to the passing of his father, which I'm going to read as well. The Rock would post, "I love you. You broke color barriers, became a ring legend and trailblazer. Your way through this. You broke color barriers. You became a ring legend and trailblazed your way through this world. I was the boy sitting in the seats, watching and adoring you, my hero from afar. The boy you raised to always be proud of our cultures and proud of who and what I am. The boy you raised with the toughest of love, the intense work, the hard hand, the adoring boy who wanted to know only your best qualities, who then grew to become a man realizing you had other deeply complicated sides that needed to be held and understood. Son to father, man to man, that's when my adoration turned to respect, and my empathy turned to gratitude. Grateful that you gave me life, grateful that you gave me life's invaluable lessons. Dad, I wish I had one more shot to tell you I love you before you crossed over to the other side, but you were ripped away from me so fast without warning, gone in an instant and no coming back. I'm in pain, but we both know it's just pain and it'll pass. Now I'll carry your mana and work ethic with me, and it's time to move on because I have my family to feed and work to accomplish. Finally, I want you to rest your trailblazing soul man. Pain-free, regret-free, satisfied, and at ease. You lived a very full, very hard, barrier-breaking life and left it all in the ring. I love you, Dad, and I'll always be your proud and grateful son. Go rest high."
Yeah, that was rough. That was
Yeah,
touching.
so a very unfortunate passing this past week. A true legend of the business, a true trailblazer and pioneer. Helped break a lot of barriers, especially back in his time period, which still he's paved the way for many to come after him.
Including his son. Without him, we wouldn't get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, so he paved the way for him and many other future performers and wrestlers of color as well.
So all of our thoughts and prayers go out to the Johnson family.
Yes. Our thoughts and prayers are with The Rock and his friends and family at this time. But of course, several other people would send out their love, respect, and appreciation for Rocky Johnson this past week, including Vince McMahon, Tony Atlas, Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Booker T, Bill Goldberg, Shelton Benjamin, and Triple H. Moving on from there, it's very, very, very sad subject, but trying to move on from there. Of course, it was announced this past week that AEW Dynamite is getting extended through 2023 on TNT, including an additional weekly program being added. The following I'm about to read here is from Bleacher Report. All Elite Wrestling and Warner Media extended their television partnership through 2023. The promotion announced Wednesday. AEW President and CEO Tony Khan said this in a statement. When we launched AEW 1 year ago, we wanted to start a revolution that would disrupt the wrestling business, but everyone said it would take a strong weekly television partner to make AEW real in the eyes of everyone, above all the fans. What virtually no one realized at the time was Kevin Relly and TNT were committed to this very same movement from day one, and their belief in us made it possible for AEW to think and act big from the start. As part of the extension, TNT will air AEW on a second night in addition to Wednesday's weekly program Dynamite. AEW only announced its television deal with Warner Media last May. The fact that the two parties are already committed to a longer PAX speaks to how successful the promotion has been since Dynamite first aired in October. In an effort to program against Dynamite, WWE moved from NXT from its streaming platform to USA Network on Wednesday nights, thus triggering a battle similar to the Monday Night Wars from mid to late 90s and early 2000s. According to Variety's Joe Otterson, Dynamite was claiming an early edge in ratings. Through January 1st, it had averaged 900,577 weekly viewers compared to 795,733 viewers for WWE NXT. The trend continued January 8th with Dynamite beating NXT 947,000 to 721,000. Wednesday's edition of Dynamite is the first of two Bash at the Beach specials, a four-way tag team match pitting the Young Bucks, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, Santana and Ortiz, and the Best Friends is the biggest on the night's card. So,
Congratulations on AEW on that, and also they were able to sign Taz to a multi-year deal as well.
Yeah, so he's going to be with AEW for quite some time as well. So I'm happy about that. Now we're gonna go into the weekly TV ratings here from this past week for both Raw, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown. So for Monday Night Raw, Raw did a 2.030 million, which is down from the previous 2.384 million. NXT would do 700,000, 700,000, which is down from last week's 721,000. And then AEW Dynamite would do 940,000, which is down from last week's 947,000. So NXT down 21,000, AEW down 7,000. Not that significant of a drop, but
Right.
Then Friday Night SmackDown was up 2.580 million from 2.52 million
Really?
a week ago. Yeah, so yeah, they were up this week a little bit.
Wow, that's crazy.
Next, this is kind of a funny one actually. We're gonna this past week, Impact Wrestling they would get banned from Twitch.
Remember, when it comes to a 2020 RVD, fuck,
And I guess
his girlfriend's girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
Freak.
They'd be involved in a segment which I won't go into detail about, but it would this would lead many to believe, which I mean, there's no other way, or no other way in hell. I mean, you could say there was any other reason why this happened, but yeah, so this is pretty much what led to them getting banned. They'd run that segment, which I guess that was against Twitch's. I think it was against like their